안녕하세요. In this video, I'm going to review how to express time in Korean. It will actually come up in future lessons, but I just wanted to give you more time to practice. And there was one question related to the issue of using different number systems for telling time. So I just wanted to give you some sort of review and updates. So basically, so far we've been learning two different systems in Korean numbers, Sino-Korean numbers and pure Korean numbers or native Korean numbers. Sino-Korean numbers are mostly used date, money, prices, addresses, phone numbers, minute, and second. And for pure or native Korean numbers, we use them counting ages and hour. So as you can see here, for hour, when you talk about hour, you use native Korean number while you use Sino-Korean numbers for minute and second. In this video, we'll just focus on hour and minute. So when you ask the question, what time is it now? You can ask 지금 몇 시예요? We've already learned all those words. 지금 is now and 몇, what, and 시 is the counter noun for time and 예요. So as I already talked about, when we express time, hour, which is 시 in Korean, we use native Korean numbers, which is 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 여덟, 아홉, 열, 열하나, 12. So basically, you just follow the same rule. For 하나, it's not 하나시, it's 한시. So it's same for 둘, 셋, 넷, and then even for 열하나, 열둘. You should say 열한시 and 열두시. Okay, for minute, we use 분. So for minute and seconds, we use Sino-Korean number system, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and then so on and so on. And we have 30분 and 40분, 50분. So 59, 59분 is the biggest number you use for 분 because if it's like over 60 minutes, which means, it's plus 1 hour. There was a question on the discussion board for the number lecture video, and I just wanted to answer it in this video. So native numbers are pure Korean number system. We've been using it like from ancient time. So in ancient Korean societies, people used the unit of hour for expressing time. So it's part of the ancient culture. So that's why people have the habit of using native Korean, like pure Korean number system for hour. And as for the unit of minute and seconds, it's relatively introduced later in the history of Korean society. So that's why we use Sino-Korean number system. For example, when we use some universal units like meters, centimeters, or kilograms, or all those of international standard units they were introduced into Korean culture pretty late in the history. So if we're using those units, we of course use Sino-Korean number system. And there are some counters in pure Korean, like native Korean numbers. So if that's the case, we mostly use native Korean number system with those noun counters. I hope this helps. To express time, 시간 in Korean, use native Korean number for hour. For example, 지금 몇 시예요?
3시예요.
Okay, let's practice more. 지금 몇 시예요?
5시예요.
지금 몇 시예요?
11시예요.
Okay. And to express minute in Korean, you use Sino-Korean number, and the minute is 분. So for example, 지금 몇 시예요?
1시 5분이에요.
So as you can see in this example, for hour, 시, you use native Korean number, and 분, minute, you use Sino-Korean number system. So let's practice with one more. 지금 몇 시예요?
1시 30분이에요.
Okay. For 30분, there's another way to say this.
1시 반이에요.
Yes, 반 means half. Okay, so I'm gonna give you more examples. So let's practice together. 지금 몇 시예요?
1시 55분이에요.
네. 지금 몇 시예요?
4시 35분이에요.
Okay, great. And here's more. 지금 몇 시예요? Then you can say 9시예요 and 5시예요, right? It's like 9 to 5. If we're talking about 9 to 5 as your work schedule, then 9시 in the morning, like a.m. in the morning and p.m. in the afternoon. So for a.m. we use 오전 and for p.m. we use 오후. So there could be, 오전 9시, 오후 9시, and 오전 5시, 오후 5시. So just to let you know. 감사합니다.